Delina, I'm so grateful to have you today.
Thank you for having me.
It's our first video ever, and there's so much that's gonna come this year. You guys, I can't wait for you to see her videos because I had a sneak peek of the footage and I'm like, oh my god, it's so good. Like your Cleopatra eyes.
Yes. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, it's really great. So I'm happy we were able to do video together to start because I feel like we can learn so much from each other, and also people can be inspired about like how did you pick this color for red, for lips, depending on your skin color, your eye color, your hair color. Even though I also think it's a lot based on how you feel.
Yeah.
Agreed. At the end of the day.
Yes.
But it will be cool to talk about it, and I know we both, I mean, I feel like every woman has a red lip signature look, right?
Definitely. Yeah, I think everybody has a red that works for them.
Yeah, it's kind of when you find your mascara or your foundation, you like stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to ask you first a little bit about you, just so my audience get to know you, and I know that you guys are going to fall in love with her, but I wanted to share a little bit more about you. So, you know, I was looking for girls to do makeup, so I'm not the only one.
Yes.
And my assistant Grace, I was on set with her, I was like, oh, I'm looking for a girl that celebrates her own beauty, is not trying to change who she is, she's not putting like tons of false lashes and contouring like crazy, and she was like, oh, I have to talk to you about that girl. And then she showed me your Instagram, and the first picture I saw was one of your with your headpiece.
Yeah.
And you know I'm obsessed with this.
Yeah.
You look so good. I was like, oh, I'm so happy. I hope she's gonna say yes. And then we connected, and you agree. We talked on the phone, and you agreed to do it. So I was very, very excited you accepted to do this video.
I love your style of makeup as well. I felt the same way as soon as I was looking at your style. I was like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. Well, you're already so beautiful, but then the way you do makeup as well is just so pretty, and it just enhances the skin, and it really spoke to me. So I was like, yes, definitely. I would love to create something with you.
It's cool because I feel like this philosophy of accepting who you are and celebrate your own natural beauty connects so many people. I'm happy to do a sort of a gang of girls, you know, that talks about it instead of just being by myself forever on my YouTube channel.
I know, we're making it like a community space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
Well, I want everybody to know it's easy to do makeup. You just have to do something that speaks to you, and like whatever your hand feels it should be what you do, versus like looking at something and saying like, oh my gosh, that doesn't feel like me, but it's on trend, so I should do that. It's not really about that. It's about like you create your own trend.
So I'm so curious to see what you brought today. I brought like a few things. There's many red that I like, and I'm sure you do too, but the one that fits me the most is this one that is pretty bright. So not necessarily just this brand or this color, but this kind of like flashy orangey red. What do you feel like fits you the most?
This type of color I feel like suits me more. It's like yours is a little bit more orangey, mine has like a little bit more of like a brown in it, or like a little bit more blue in it. I like that it's a little bit deeper too because it's just a one and done. I don't have to put a liner with it or anything. It just works well by itself.
That's very interesting because I would love to wear this. It will look nice, but not as easy as I just wear that.
Right.
And I feel like for you it's the same. Like this is easy, it fits you really well, and for this you'll have to work it out a little bit more.
Exactly. Like with that I would have to put a liner or something just to kind of give it a home, especially because like naturally I have darkness around my mouth, so if it's like just bright, it just like sits there and it almost like it needs a home, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It looks like flat, it's sort of like stamp.
Exactly. For me, that needs like a darker liner. I've been really obsessed lately with this Wander Beauty Nude Illusion foundation. It looks like skin. So I have acne. So with the type of skin that I have, I get hyperpigmentation really easily. You know, when the acne goes away and when it heals, I tend to get like dark marks. And then they stay for like months, which is like its whole other problem. This foundation is really nice, and you'll see what I mean in just a second, because I can cover. It doesn't really necessarily feel like foundation. I really like this concealer a lot. It's like a pot concealer. I'm mixing two different colors. So I have Rich and Golden Rich. So typically I almost always use two different colors of foundation to give dimension, but also to work with the hyperpigmentation. So it's like the tones in my skin, especially in this area, once you get past like this part of my skin, I can't use the same color that I use here. You see how much lighter this part of my face is? It's like you need both tones. This company is really cool.
So the more bright color.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is darker, right?
Yeah.
You're going to use it.
Just use it in the center of the face.
Yeah, the color is perfect for you, and I love that it has golden
undertones, right?
undertone,
It's
yeah.
really like a really nice gold. I'm just gonna use my finger to blend this out.
Most of the time I use my fingers, yes.
Wow, that is.
But you know, I didn't learn makeup. I learned painting. So even though in painting you use brushes, when I did makeup on myself, I was using fingers because I feel like non-professional people will use more their fingers when they don't know.
That's true.
I think that's why I'm doing it that way.
And then I'm gonna grab this darker foundation. Hold on, let me show you what I mean.
Yeah, the skin texture is perfect.
Right? It's like, it works so well. And like, I need more coverage in certain areas, so you'll see me put on more than you see you do normally. You're probably like, whoa girl, this is like way more than me normally. In the areas that you need it, you put more, and then in the areas that you don't need as much, and then you kind of create like an illusion.
Exactly, you adapt to your need. Like on your forehead, because of the breakout here, you'll have a little bit more in the pigmentation, but here, like...
Yeah, exactly, I don't need as much. So this is the darker foundation, so I'll put that like right here. Like kind of here at the top.
Yeah, and it's going to give you dimension too, so that's good.
Exactly. And I have a big forehead, so you know, we got to work it out.
You're so like
that's how we do.
Extreme with ourselves.
Yes, you know? Exactly. It's like it's fine, girl, it's fine. But also, I don't mind my makeup kind of fading a little bit throughout the day.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like I'm not
good.
like, you know, you gotta just let it live.
So you're adding this darker shade under your bone and on your cheekbone to kind of like sculpt a little bit?
Exactly. But it's like a light sculpting. So it doesn't necessarily look like you got too much going on.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's there. And then right here in this area, it's interesting. I didn't really have acne until I was in like my 20s. I didn't have it when I was a kid.
Do you know if it's a hormonal thing or...
Is it a hormonal thing? Yes.
Yeah.
Like this stuff on my jaw is hands down hormonal. Like my forehead, I've heard that that's more digestive.
Uh-huh.
So I take like probiotics and all types of stuff. Girl, I could talk about acne for forever. Like literally, I feel like
we should do a video about it.
We should totally do a video about it.
So many girls struggling with acne.
So I'm just putting a little bit more underneath my eyes just to kind of brighten up. I like to do this before I add any concealer, just see as much as foundation can do for me. Just a little bit underneath the brow, but not much. The soft matte concealer.
So when you break out the foundation, you think is enough to hide this one, or you will also sometime add a little bit of concealer?
Yeah, sometimes I'll add a little bit of concealer. Normally I use a pretty medium to full coverage foundation, especially, you know, I have hyperpigmentation, so I want to keep the same texture all over the skin. So I'll use the same foundation. I'll use it sheer in the areas that I need to make it sheer, and then I'll use it, you know, more like I'll sheer it out where I need to, and then I'll make it fuller where I need to make it fuller. And right here in the inner part too, where it gets dark.
I'm gonna do concealer. I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna concealer and see if I need foundation.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
I need a concealer that's liquid. So I'm gonna put it here. Also, one thing that happened during this pregnancy is this little red dot over there just appear. I'm gonna do it here and see my skin is transparent, so you see veins here. So I'll always try to keep the shadow of the dark circles by the lash line too, because otherwise I look erased. And then I'm just gonna pat it. And I tried to pat it down so it kind of replumb my cheeks.
I like that you leave that darkness around the eye. I think that makes such a difference in making you look less made up but also finished.
Okay, and usually what I do is I add...
That's a nice concealer.
It's the equivalent of your... Because it kind of annoys me to have this dark circle that is so long. It goes like in the middle of my cheek. So I try to remove this little shadow. And I don't think I'm going to use foundation, actually.
It looks really good.
For me, the next step is going to be highlighter. To me, it depends on what kind of blush I'm going to use. And I'm going to use a cream blush, again, to bring this dewiness to my skin as much as I can.
Okay.
So to use highlighter first is actually going to help me have a more blended.
Okay, this one is by Ben Nye. It's called Terra. And what I do is typically I'll just take a lot of it and then I'll put it on the back of my hand and then just like completely sheer it out.
This color and this texture.
It's nice, right? As you kind of lift it up.
And you pat very lightly.
And keep building it. It depends on the look that I'm doing, but normally I like it to go up, the blush, into like to the ear. Yeah, and then you know when you put a red on, you really need some blush because it just washes you out otherwise.
Yeah, I need to have a pink blush.
Okay.
Do you have like this sort of thing with you two? Like you need to have a blush, and what kind of color do you need?
I think the one that makes me look like the most like alive would be like a peach colored blush.
This blush is so beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do, the highlighter first. This is to me the lightest shade. And I like to kind of go on the apple too, so it can really replumb. So if I forget this is my reticles and I treat it like it was the apple of my cheek completely, and I put the highlighter there, it will create this optical illusion that's more plump and kind of lift my face up. Now I'm gonna do in the inner corner, because my eyes are pretty close from my nose, so that always helps to highlight it here. And I love Cupid's bow. I don't put usually anything on my nose for highlighter, because my nose is very, very thin. So if I do that, I look like I have no nose. And then, and then the chin. Yeah, so that's gonna be, it. So this is super colored. So I just like tap on it and a little bit here as well. I won't go that way.
Okay.
I stay more in the center. Okay, so I might add more once I put the red lipstick on.
I'm gonna grab, okay, so I use Anastasia Brow Wiz. Well, actually, I switch up what I use on my brows all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah, but this is, this is the easiest thing to do, is to like comb them up first to see the shape. And typically I always start right here at the arch of the brow.
Me too. It's always a place that I love to start with. I feel like it's giving the structure.
Exactly.
And the accent of the entire eyebrow.
My brows are both a little bit short. They stop kind of short.
Uh-huh.
So I always extend them just a little here at the end. And then I just keep brushing them up and then adding, and then brushing it and adding.
I love big eyebrows with a red lipstick. I feel like it's giving a balance between the femininity of the red with the, the boyish touch of the eyebrows.
Yeah, I like that.
I love to have copper pencil in my eyes when I do red.
I brought a copper too.
Really?
Yeah, that's so funny.
So for the eye pencil, I like to be messy. I just color with my eye closed, and at the same time I go on the bottom and the top.
Oh, that's nice.
And I just like do it very messy. And then with my finger, I'm just gonna blend here. And what I do is, because my eyes are a bit falling down, I'm gonna follow the direction of my bottom lash line and from the corner go up. So I'm sort of doing a liner, but then I blend it so it doesn't look like a liner, it looks more like my eye shape. It's kind of an optical illusion. But then I add a bit more of the copper, and I like to put it also in the waterline and in the inside corner. If I want like a very natural look, like I didn't put makeup on, but still look good, that's the one thing I would do. With the blender I used, I can just clean up, on the bottom, and that's it.
It's so funny, I brought copper too. Okay, I'm gonna use two different liners. This one is a brown one by Marc Jacobs. If I don't have brown or black on my eyeline, it just feels like unfinished for some reason. So I'm just gonna put a little something on the lash line all the way across, and then...
Okay, so kind of similar
technique. Yep, exactly.
So you feel like it brings you more definition?
Yes. And then I'm just gonna like smudge it in a little bit more. It just adds definition to the... So
that was good that you kept the natural shadow on your eyelid, because it blends perfectly.
You can't really tell that there's something there if you didn't know, but then it's like there.
That's what I love the most about makeup. People are telling you, oh, you look beautiful, and not, oh, your makeup looks great.
Right, and you're like, oh, thank you. Yeah, exactly. That's the goal for my own makeup, but also when I do other people's makeup too. Yeah. So this brown is nice. It's like just kind of soft. I just put it in the waterline as well. Same thing on this other eye. I'm going to do the same thing.
So I think what's interesting here is like we kind of do the same technique. The only difference I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, if I use the copper, because there is a metallic, it's going to catch the light and look more luminous.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good point.
So it blends more with my the skin color of my eyelid. So it's basically your equivalent.
Both of it's like kind of a version of a little bit of like a nude, but it's like kind of like enhancing our skin. I like that. That was the brown, and then I'm going to use this copper color. I'm going to put it right in the inner corner of the eye.
I love this color.
Right? That's so funny that we're both doing copper.
To me, it's like better than gold.
Yeah.
Cool. So nice. I need to curl my lashes.
Okay.
One thing during pregnancy too, I lost minimum like 30% of my hair.
No way.
Because I had food aversions like crazy. I couldn't only eat for 4 months carbs and cheese.
Really? That's the only thing that your body would be like, okay.
So no vegetables, no protein, like no fish, no meat, like just carbs.
What would happen when you ate other things? You just feel ill?
No, you can't. It's like if I'm giving you a plate of dirt, you'll be like, no, I'm not. I can't eat it.
Yeah.
I would be exactly the same. So
That's
even
so funny.
friends cooking vegetables next to me,
You're like,
I was like, you guys need to change, like go in another room or I have to leave. Like I couldn't even look like broccoli. I used to love zucchini.
Yeah.
Zucchini is like my favorite vegetable. I hate it so much now. I don't even understand if that, the idea of maybe liking it again one day. But they told me, you'll see with the hormones it will go away.
Yeah.
But I'm really like, really? Because I really hate it now. So it's weird. So I lost... because of the lack of nutriments, I mean, after I called my naturopath, she gave me some supplement, and he finally kicked in. I was like chunks of hair I was losing every day. It was really scary. I was like half, like my ponytail, when I grab it, I can feel like half of the texture. So he did the same for my lashes.
Okay.
Great.
Yes, great.
Pregnancy is wonderful for those who don't have kids yet. Don't worry. So I need to curl to give it a feeling of having lashes again. I never use false lashes on me, like ever. I feel like I'm cheating or something.
You don't feel like you?
No.
Okay.
But because it's a very light texture, when I don't have a lot of lashes like now, it's gonna help my curl to stay because it's not heavy. It's good because it's like...
Oh, looks good.
Glossy a bit, but very black, and because it's not heavy and dry, the mascara is going to be exactly like this until tonight.
And my lashes are pretty curly naturally. Sometimes I feel like I need to curl them, sometimes I don't. This is by this company called Essence, and this is like a really cheap mascara, but it works so well. It's called Lash Princess. I like to put it just kind of at the base of the lashes and then just work my way up, but it really builds. Like, look how much, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of wild.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and I do like a lot of mascara. I don't mind if it's kind of like a little bit clumpier. That's okay for me.
Yeah.
Brush for the bottom lashes. Yeah, this mascara is one of my favorite ones. This is the pink version of it. This is the volume version of it, but they have another one that's like got like a green top, and it's just as good.
Yeah, it looks like false lashes in a good way.
Yeah, I like it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's orange, but it has a tiny bit of blue. I always say when you wear lipstick, draw maybe, it depends of course if you have very big lips, but usually I would say overdraw a tiny bit.
Have the person smile a little bit, like kind of like,
like
a taut, like a taut.
That's why I've been using this guy for years. As soon as they launched it, I was like, okay, this is my go-to red.
Wow, okay.
So I really love it.
I actually discovered this a couple months ago. This is by this company called Beauty Vault, and the color is called Natty Nat. It's quite easy to kind of play around with. It's a deeper red, so it fits really well with my skin tone. Also, I like that it's a liquid lip, which means that it's gonna last a lot longer, so yeah.
So nice.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm gonna add the serum. I basically put it here, like that. And then I just put it everywhere. And even under my eyes. I also love when I have like matte lipstick to have a bit of a dewy skin. Like I like to have this natural dewiness on my skin.
It looks great.
Like it feels more real. And then I'm gonna add a bit more blush.
Yeah, it looks great.
Cool, thank you. I feel like a red lipstick look is like therapeutic. If you feel a bit, tired or a bit weak that day and you have a big day of meetings or work, or you just need something to lift up your mood, I feel putting red lipstick on makes you feel
Like you're ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're ready to face the world.
Agreed. Agreed. Let me add one more thing.
Yeah, what do you want to add?
This is by this company called Dollhouse Cosmetics, and I'm just going to put it in the center of my face. I just need to do it kind of around the nose, a little bit under the eye over the concealer or foundation. It sets everything. I use a little bit more concealer here, so I just need to make sure that's set. And then also it helps with texture. So like you can really see this right here, but if I put powder on it, I make it flatter.
Yeah, I agree. It looks really nice. Cool.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
I feel good. How do you feel?
Feel good.
This was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
So you guys make sure to subscribe so you can see all her videos and not miss anything that Delina and I will do, basically. I think that's going to be a very cool series, so I cannot wait to have all your content out.
Thank you.
Thank you again for doing this. Can I tell them that they can ask you anything if
Of
they want to
course.
see looks or have questions
Of
on your
course.
Instagram? We'll put like our handle in the caption. And I like the idea of having a communication with everyone so we can have fun with people to recreate looks and stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you look so
Thank you.
gorgeous.
Thank you. You too.
Bye, guys.